Taipei, Taiwan. In a dimly lit command center, satellite images flicker across a wall of screens, each one a window into a rapidly changing reality. These images reveal a massive Chinese military buildup along the coastline, columns of armored vehicles, missile batteries, and troops amassing with unmistakable intent. Hundreds of amphibious assault ships, flanked by commandeered civilian vessels, crowd the ports. Each ship is loaded with tanks, artillery, and supplies, forming a formidable armada poised for action. This is no drill. The scale, speed, and coordination of these movements point to a threat that is both immediate and real, one that cannot be ignored or dismissed as mere posturing. For Taiwan's 23 million people, the fear of invasion is not just a distant possibility. It's a daily reality that shapes life, politics, and the national psyche. The island's defense is about more than just sovereignty. It's about protecting a vibrant democracy, a way of life, and a critical hub for global trade that the world depends on. Taiwan's war planners don't ask if an invasion will come, but when. They prepare for relentless cyber attacks, waves of missile barrages, and the constant threat of sabotage. A naval blockade is expected, warships forming a steel wall at sea, aiming to choke off supplies and isolate the island before a single soldier sets foot on shore. Resilience is key, keeping the lights on, restoring power after strikes, and ensuring communications remain open so the nation can coordinate its defense and keep hope alive. The military trains relentlessly, running readiness drills and preparing for rapid deployment, knowing that every second counts after the first blow is struck. Taiwan's rugged coastline is its front line, but only a handful of beaches are suitable for a large-scale landing. These are the island's most vulnerable points. These so-called red beaches are the focus of intense fortification. If China secures a beachhead here, the battle for the island becomes exponentially harder. The goal is clear: stop the enemy at the water's edge using every available resource, every obstacle, and every ounce of determination. Every street, building, and citizen is part of the defense plan. Civilians train in emergency preparedness, ready to support the military and protect their communities. The world watches with bated breath as Taiwan braces for a test of resolve, knowing that the outcome here could reshape the balance of power in Asia and beyond. The line will be held at the shore, or not at all. Every meter of sand is a battleground, every trench a last stand. The fate of the island, and the entire region, hangs in the balance, with the hopes and fears of millions resting on what happens next. As the sun rises over Taipei, the Taiwan flag waves defiantly above the city. This is where Taiwan's future will be decided, on its shores, in its streets, and in the hearts of its people. For China, invading Taiwan is a logistical nightmare. The sheer scale of the operation is staggering, requiring months of meticulous planning and coordination across every branch of the military. Every supply line, every vehicle, and every soldier must be accounted for, making secrecy almost impossible. Moving hundreds of thousands of troops and their equipment across the 100-mile Taiwan Strait demands a vast, highly visible armada. Ships, landing craft, and support vessels would stretch for miles, creating a massive target for anyone watching. Satellite imagery and global intelligence networks would spot this buildup weeks, if not months, in advance. The world's eyes would be fixed on the region, analyzing every movement and preparing for the possibility of conflict. This early warning window gives Taiwan and its allies precious time to mobilize, reinforce defensive positions, and prepare for the worst. Every hour counts as they harden their coastal defenses and ready their response. China's plan would likely involve simultaneous assaults on multiple beaches, using warships, civilian ferries, and helicopters to try to overwhelm defenders with speed and numbers. The goal: to establish a foothold before resistance can organize. But the crossing itself is the most vulnerable phase. Slow, heavily loaded ships packed with troops and equipment become easy targets for missiles, submarines, and airstrikes. The open water offers little cover or escape. A single well-placed missile could sink a transport, costing thousands of lives in an instant and potentially derailing the entire invasion before it even reaches the shore. To counter this, China hopes to cripple Taiwan's defenses with massive missile and airstrikes before the fleet arrives, aiming to neutralize coastal batteries, airfields, and command centers in a matter of hours. The battle for control of the strait becomes the decisive moment. Whoever dominates these waters will shape the outcome of the entire campaign. If Taiwan can inflict heavy losses here, the invasion could fail before it ever reaches land. The cost in lives and equipment would be devastating for China. The world would be watching every move, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The outcome could reshape the balance of power in the region and beyond. Timing, coordination, and the element of surprise are everything. A single misstep could spell disaster for either side. The crossing is China's greatest risk and Taiwan's greatest opportunity. In this high-stakes gamble, the fate of nations hangs in the balance. Taiwan's defense has shifted to an asymmetric porcupine strategy, making invasion too costly for China. Instead of matching China's military power head-to-head, Taiwan focuses on maximizing its strengths and exploiting the vulnerabilities of a much larger adversary. This means preparing to inflict heavy losses and slow down any invading force at every stage. Long-range missiles can strike PLA staging areas before ships even launch, targeting troop concentrations, supply depots, and logistics hubs. By hitting these critical points early, Taiwan aims to disrupt China's ability to organize and sustain an invasion. If invasion is imminent, Taiwan may strike first, targeting airfields, ports, and command centers. These preemptive strikes are designed to cripple China's ability to coordinate and launch a full-scale assault, buying precious time for defensive preparations. Special forces could sabotage key infrastructure on the mainland, slowing China's advance. Operations might include disabling power grids, communications, or transportation networks, creating confusion and delays behind enemy lines. These actions disrupt timetables and create chaos, buying time for Taiwan's main defenses. Every hour of confusion in the enemy's ranks increases the defenders' chances of survival and resistance. China would retaliate with overwhelming missile barrages, testing Taiwan's air defenses to the limit. The skies would be filled with incoming threats, forcing defenders to make split-second decisions under immense pressure. The opening hours would be a deadly exchange of long-range firepower. Both sides would unleash their most advanced weapons, seeking to gain the upper hand before ground forces even approach the shore. Taiwan's survival depends on weathering this initial storm and keeping its military intact. Rapid repairs, quick redeployment, and maintaining morale are crucial to withstanding the onslaught and preparing for the next phase of battle. The goal: delay, disrupt, and degrade the invasion before it reaches the coast. Layered defenses, from sea mines to mobile missile units, are designed to inflict maximum damage on approaching forces. Every minute gained is a chance to strengthen the defense. Reinforcements can be moved, positions fortified, and new threats identified as the battle evolves. The fight starts long before the first landing craft hits the beach. In asymmetric warfare, victory depends on preparation, resilience, and the ability to turn every second of delay into an advantage. As the invasion fleet sails, Taiwan turns the strait into a deadly gauntlet. Naval mines laid in key shipping lanes threaten every ship. Land-based anti-ship missiles, hidden and mobile, target the largest vessels. Swarms of drones provide surveillance and strike power, overwhelming ship defenses. Artillery batteries add to the barrage as the fleet nears shore. The goal: sink as many ships as possible before they reach the beaches. If a third of the fleet is lost, the invasion could collapse. The strait becomes a graveyard, victory or defeat decided on the water. China's air and naval forces dwarf Taiwan's, making a direct fight impossible. Taiwan's strategy: survive, deny, and make the cost unbearable for China. Aircraft are hidden in mountain shelters and dispersed to highway runways to survive missile strikes. The Air Force focuses on intercepting helicopters and landing craft, not dogfighting the entire PLA. The Navy relies on fast attack boats and submarines, striking from concealment and retreating quickly. Ground-based radar and missile batteries create a protective bubble over the island. The goal: create brief windows to strike, then disappear. Every successful ambush chips away at the invasion force. If Chinese troops reach the beaches, the battle becomes brutal and chaotic. Taiwan's defenses funnel landing craft into kill zones lined with mines, obstacles, and pre-sighted artillery. Tanks and anti-tank teams wait in ambush, aiming to destroy vehicles before troops can disembark. The goal turned the beaches into a graveyard of burning armor and shattered morale. PLA artillery and drones try to suppress defenses, but every meter is contested. The fight is static and savage. Annihilation, not maneuver. The outcome depends on whether Taiwan can destroy the landing force faster than China can reinforce it. Every inch of sand is paid for in blood. The beaches are the last line before the cities. The defenders know lose here, and the battle moves inland. On Taiwan's northern coast, soldiers train for the real thing: live fire, chaos, and fear. They dig trenches, lay barbed wire, and practice anti-tank missile shots. Drills include falling back to secondary positions, drawing the enemy into kill zones. Morale is high. These are defenders of home, not just soldiers. Taiwan's large reserve force is ready to mobilize, with annual training to keep skills sharp. The spirit of resistance runs deep, defending not just land, but freedom and democracy. The government promotes all-out defense, preparing every citizen for crisis. Civilian training in first aid and disaster response builds resilience. Soldiers know they're not alone. The whole nation stands behind them. Taiwan's resolve is its greatest strength. The message: we will not surrender without a fight. Taiwan's strategy is not scorched earth. It's about protecting people and cities. Urban areas become defensive fortresses, not rubble. If the PLA breaks through, the fight moves to city streets and mountains. Guerrilla tactics and ambushes slow the advance, making every block a strong point. Tanks are vulnerable in narrow streets. Supply lines are exposed. The goal: bleed the invader, stretch their resources, and break their will. Civil defense units keep services running and guide civilians to safety. National resolve turns every city into a fortress. Early warning is the linchpin of Taiwan's defense. Intelligence and surveillance spot invasion signs weeks in advance, giving time to mobilize. Dispersing forces, laying mines, and moving missile launchers all depend on this window. Without warning, Taiwan risks being caught off guard and devastated. Early evidence also rallies international support and pressures Beijing. The presence of U.S. forces complicates China's plans. Taiwan's layered, asymmetric defense is designed to exploit every second gained. In the race against time, every moment counts and could decide the island's fate.